Good morning, everybody. Regan and Christi here from Greenfields Farm, and I think we join all of you and all the whole world in knowing that we're in some pretty unprecedented times here and all affected by what's going on in the world with this flu outbreak. But I think we can also step back and learn a lot and kind of observe and kind of question things a little bit too. So that's what we wanted to talk about in this video, something that's kind of come up and been close to our hearts for quite a while, but this situation has really brought things to life. So
a couple days ago, went to the store and it was surprising to me what people were buying. For one, I don't think they were like in the crisis mode yet.
And we're not trying to say anybody should be in crisis mode.
No, but it was funny. They were really focusing on toilet paper and
macaroni and cheese.
Mac and cheese was out. But for the most part, the food was totally stocked.
And we really take food for granted, I think. And it's just, we're so blessed to be able to take food for granted. So we're sitting here thinking, not to, cause any type of alarm or anything, but I think we should all have a greater appreciation for our food, where it comes from. And that's been a big part of our family, what our family's been doing the last couple of years, making a lot more of our own food, trying to really question if instant gratification, processed foods, that type of things, if that's really where we want to go. So one of the biggest things, or where Christi kind of started with it, because I kind of think she's crazy sometimes and then I come around, but one of the first things she started doing was making bread. I thought she was nuts because sliced bread, it's the best thing, right? But we started with bread. How long has it been since we bought bread?
Since June 2018. So
June 2018 was
over
our last
a year and a half. Yeah.
Loaf of bought bread. And it's been really awesome. We have a new appreciation for something as simple as bread, which I think is something our society misses totally. So we're sitting here thinking, you know what? Here we are. The kids are going to be home for a couple weeks from school. I think 2 weeks. Yeah, and I think a lot of people are in that same situation. And we thought, you know what? Let's do a video on how to make bread and just take a minute to slow down and be so thankful for something that we can make here among our family, that obviously you still need to go to the store for the ingredients, but
and also empower you to be able to make something with your kids or make something by yourself that you eat on a regular basis, or you might actually eat more when you realize how enjoyable it is to make it yourself and to not have to use even a bread machine to make it. So.
Yeah, I mean, most of us know the Lord's Prayer, give us this day our daily bread, and I was just thinking of that now, that there's so many deeper meanings to that it's not just run to the store and get it, it's the love, the participation in that makes it even cooler. So Christi's has been making bread for us for quite a while. We're going to do today where we're going to bring the kids in on it. We've actually already filmed some of that, and it's been a lot of fun. So hope you'll follow along and think about doing this yourself and just slow down. We're being forced to slow down.
Yes, we are.
Since games are canceled, school's canceled, we're home together. We're being forced to do that, which is which is a blessing. So slow down. Maybe think about doing this.
And we may do a couple videos for some other things if you have any interest, or if you have any comments you'd like to see. Something.
Let us know what you think of this video, if you want more, if you have any questions, and maybe we'll do a few more, because it is a lot of fun. It's done a lot of good for our family, kind of going this route, kind of opting out, backing away a little bit, and focusing on our family. So enough of that. We've talked a lot. Let's get into how, Christi,
to make bread.
Do you make bread? Mommy, so what ingredients do we need for this higher level cooking?
It's pretty simple. You just need some water or milk, flour, yeast, a little bit of fat. We like butter. You can also use oil, and then a little bit of sweetener, so it feeds the yeast. So we use honey. You could also use sugar. So it's pretty basic ingredients. We've
been joined by some helpers. Yes. And do any of you guys know the steps we need to go through?
No.
Yeah, me neither. So what steps are we gonna do here, Mama?
Okay, so first we need to warm up the water or the milk, and you want it to be. I put it in the microwave for about a minute. I'm doing 2 loaves of bread, so that's 2 cups of water. You want it to be hot enough that you can swirl your finger in it and not pull it out because it's burnt, but you want it warm enough that gets the yeast start going. So we're gonna warm that up, and I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of butter in. I'm gonna do that.
Now it's really cool. Look at this. They put right on there measurements. I didn't know that. So warm water, 2 tablespoons of butter.
Unsalted.
Unsalted. Okay.
It doesn't really matter. You can do salted butter. If you do salted butter, you probably don't want to add as much salt.
Oh, so you put that in before you warm the water?
Well, and it melts the butter.
Well, that makes sense.
Oh, I forgot to say salt. You need salt.
Salt? Oh, man, she's adding stuff as we
Thank
go.
Grandma Barb. You don't like her rolls when they're salt free.
God bless you, Grandma Barb. All right, so Christy's gonna take that over the microwave. About how long are you gonna put it in for?
1 minute.
1 minute. 1 minute later. Ooh, a little finger test, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so the butter's not quite completely melted, but that's okay. All right,
I can't.
in a bowl.
Tablespoon of yeast.
Thank
Those are
you.
the yeast.
Jeremiah,
They're the
squirt
little
of honey.
factories we put in there,
How
right?
much?
A squirt of honey.
A squirt. That's technical. Highly technical term.
So-
All right, give it a squirt.
More. There you
All right,
It's
good
about a
squirt of honey.
tablespoon
That's
of honey.
food for the yeast. Nathan's gonna put the yeast in there. They're
Yeah,
actually
start
alive
stirring.
little things.
They're live.
Now, Caleb, you are using a fancy looking utensil right there. Is that required?
No, I guess not.
But mommy's fancy. That's, you know,
We like
what we
that.
get her for her birthday and things.
go. Wooden spoon works
A
great.
wooden spoon would work, but you got the fancy dough thing. So we're stirring it, getting
Dough
the
it.
butter all mixed in.
A teaspoon of salt per cup of water, per cup of liquid. So we did 2 cups. So you need how many teaspoons?
2.
Two.
And then we're
Common Core math right there, buddy.
go.
Which is this?
Put her on in
That's
there.
a teaspoon. You need 2 of those. All right,
Mixing.
That could be enough.
Okay.
Jeremiah, put a cup of flour in and start them.
Cup of flour.
There's really not a measurement. That's gonna kill people.
Oh, so you're just doing it by look, huh?
3 or 4 cups.
She sounds just
You're
like
gonna
my
need some
grandma.
more.
All right, so we're starting to thicken up, right?
Yep.
That's 1 cup.
This?
Yep, go ahead and put her in.
Just put it in. It's fine.
Put it in and then you'll need another.
You'll need
Mommy's over here watching very closely for when it's done right.
How much flour does
Keep it going.
Not there yet. Yep, good
Here's
job
some more.
scraping those sides down.
Now don't add any yet. We'll stir. You're gonna need some more. Probably another cup, but that should be it. So
Okay.
you could also start out with a smaller batch and just do 1 cup of liquid. That'll make 1 loaf.
Cut everything in half. We're doing 2
Cut
loaves.
everything in half.
Because, you know, we got to make
eat
it to
a loaf
dinner.
as soon as it comes out of the oven, and then we save 1 for
For dinner.
dinner.
See, we got to get to
Or
dinner.
peanut
time.
butter and jelly sandwiches, or whatever.
Ooh, there's
All
a
right.
nice big cup
Do a
JJ's
half of it.
Half.
Half of it.
got. Bump. That's all falls in.
Or
It did not all fall in.
You're right. It did not. It's getting harder to stir.
Yep.
Look at that. It's getting thicker, stuck together. That's gluten, right?
Yeah, so
Gluten
gluten
is-
is not bad.
It's hard on some people, but it's not evil to most of us. We love gluten.
And
for our bread.
honestly, making homemade bread like this, even using white flour, is better than the bread that you buy at the store.
Why?
This has maybe 5 ingredients, and the bread you have at the store has so many extra things to keep it from going bad. This bread will actually not taste as good in 3 or 4 days,
Yeah, but it tastes even better.
but it's better
First comes out.
right away. All right,
And we eat
Do
it
some
in
more.
6 hours. So.
probably do the rest of your cup, Jeremiah.
Okay, so how do you know
I'll buy out
when
a
it's right?
You need to be able to work it with your hands.
What's that look like? It's not quite Play-Doh, right?
It's
Now it's
like a
gonna be
very thick
about
batter of
Play-Doh.
pancake. You want
Okay.
it like a Play-Doh.
Oh, you want it like Play-Doh. Okay. All right, we'll check back here when it's right. So the cool thing about this to me is there's some art involved. We've added a little bit more flour. Mommy's giving it her secret whisk, although I'm not sure you need that, but look at
You
this. We're
don't.
Ew.
It just, this whisk is nice because it keeps it from sticking to the spoon so much.
okay.
It kind of goes under it and works it through.
Some
Not
people
like this
paint,
big.
some people play video games, but
There's something
So
about
then
this.
it gets.
Ooh, now look at this. It's starting to look like dough.
It is dough.
Now you got some loose flour left on the edges there.
So
That's what you want.
you want some
We're
loose
gonna
flour.
still have to add more flour.
So whoa, slow down. Slow. Give me a real slow what you're doing. Slow motion.
I lift it up and
Flop it over.
I'm
And
trying
push
to
it
get
down.
the loose stuff. So if I find some wet parts of the dough, then I turn that over onto the dry stuff.
Okay, now, Caleb and Nathan and JJ, watch that closely. I'm going to pause this so you can go wash your hands. Because, you know, we should be doing that now more than ever. But I want Mommy to show you how to do that so we can prove everybody can do it. Be right back. All right, hands have been washed. Littles are still in progress of washing, but let's see Caleb do this. So
Pick
yeah,
up under it, push it over.
you're much slower than Mom.
Put your.
She's used to doing this.
Okay.
All right, now see it's sticking to your fingers, so Mommy throws a little more flour on there. Okay.
Okay. We're about ready. We can put it on the table.
But what about me?
Oh,
You'll get to it.
wait a minute. Just flat out on the table. Whoa! Making messes. We got lots of helpers now. So what's this part called, guys?
Kneading. Let Jeremiah
Kneading the dough. We knead in EED the dough, right?
KNEAD. Here you go.
Did you see that
Fold
look
it
she gave
over.
me?
You should know better. Hold on. So it's very
Mom,
soft.
I killed a
And
Okay.
if you keep doing this more, it's going to get sticky, and that's fine.
Okay.
You'll
So
just add
that's
some more.
the
Take a piece for us.
Hold on.
that's the point of kneading.
See how
to
it's
get
getting a
it.
little
Get it
sticky
on.
on the bottom?
Yeah.
Get it on the flour.
A little more flour there.
But you don't want to add too much flour. If you do, the dough will get really tough. I don't know.
Man, this
It's
is
like
getting
slippery.
complicated.
No, it's not.
And if you mess it up, you can just do it again. It's
If you
what
mess
do we
it up,
got,
it
like
bakes just fine.
yeah, we've got like 50 cents worth of, you know, product here.
At most.
My fingers are not bread.
Okay,
All
hold on.
right. Oh, we're breaking. What are we doing here?
We have 5 children.
Oh, I thought this was like an important step. But
No.
if you only have one child, you're good.
Can I have
But if you're nuts like us and have 5 or more,
What are you calling nuts?
people call us
Mommy,
nuts. Caleb,
I'm the
I think they're nuts. but
So it's
that's
not
just
done.
me.
It's still
Flour it.
sticky. It's breakable.
Put it on the flour. Put your dough on the flour, guys.
So everybody needs some flour. It's still too sticky.
Okay. Look at this over here.
You
Yeah,
gotta be
roll it,
quick,
Jackson.
so
There you go.
roll.
Be quick.
So the purpose of kneading is to get the gluten
Activated.
to get
I can do it.
stretchy, sticky. So Nate, Ryan, you're sticky. So flip the sticky part into the flour, please. Jackson, take some of his flour.
At this point in the video, I'm going to ask Nathan, why are you dressed in a blanket?
Why
See.
not?
Good enough.
He's an Ewok.
He's an Ewok. We were Ewoks before we were dough makers or bread makers.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. Guys, you keep up the good work.
About 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay. Look at this. Going to keep 4 kids occupied for 5 minutes. You thought only an iPad could do that. We'll be back later.
Yeah, that's why we switched.
Okay, 5 minutes isn't up yet, but I want to get some different techniques here. Mommy says Caleb's got probably the best one. Kind of roll, push, flat, roll, right? Let's see it, Caleb. Okay.
I'm doing
Jeremiah is learning quickly. What did you just say you were doing?
What?
You
What are you
called
doing?
it something.
Carving.
You were carving it. I'm not sure what that is, but hey,
He
it's
was
working.
sculpting.
Sculpting. Jackson, how's yours looking?
Great.
Good.
Fold
Look
it
at he's
over.
got the old pat thing
Fold
going
it
on.
over, squish it down.
And we're bringing in some extra help.
Yeah, but that was fun.
All right, in the name of unity, we've brought everything back together. Look at this gal go.
That's my flour.
We're getting
That's
there.
fine. This is where we use the extra
We're using
flour.
all the flour. So this is activating the gluten. And that's going to make our bread fluffy,
It's going to make your bread not dense.
not dense. So
I can flatten it.
we're not looking for manna here. We're looking for leavened bread.
I can flatten it. I can flatten it. No, I can.
So there's a trick to see if it's ready or not.
Can I try?
Okay.
Hold on.
She's
Let me first just say, whoa, that was fast. Sorry, guys. If we had one of those Fitbit watch thingies that people wear,
Yep, that's
we'd be
right.
going nuts right now. Okay, so how do we know it's done?
But why do we need to do that, Daddy?
Wait a minute. Whoa, that's a fancy tool you snuck in there. What is that?
I don't know. A dough scraper.
Okay, but normal
This-
people could just use a
Their
knife.
hands.
Their hands. Okay.
Can I try?
She's
So you
not
take
normal
off a
people.
piece and you gently start to stretch it.
Whoa, hold on.
I can
Okay, there we go.
try.
All
You
right.
want to be able
Can
to
I
see
try?
light through it without it tearing.
Ah, I see some light.
Try?
And if it tears, you need to
better
knead
If
it
it
more.
tears, you need to knead
Mommy,
it
I
more.
can
So we
find
saw some
it
light
out.
through there.
So it's
Mommy,
probably.
can I try stretching it?
Hold on.
Okay.
We gotta.
Whoa, she's leaving.
Here we go.
We're cleaning.
Ah, who needs a rag?
Well, we clean the table first, so.
Yeah. You go rolling that on the floor, I'm going to start asking some hard questions.
So then it's a little sticky, so we're gonna use the same bowl to let it rise in.
Ah.
So that picked up. You wanna need that?
Yes.
Fuck, 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 fuck.
All right, Jeremiah has
pro.
procured some oil. We've got fancy olive oil, but you can use probably any
This
oil
is
other than
not-
like,
Oh wait, this is.
you don't want to use like engine oil, right? I mean, that'd be bad.
Oh man.
Cooking oil.
Couple blobs.
Cooking oil.
So
okay?
quite a bit. You want the pan. You want this to not stick to it.
Can I
All
try?
right.
Can I try stretching?
Boy, we got lots of
You're
help.
done stretching.
All right, it's going in the bowl, guys. Not to be
Now.
touched anymore.
Turn it over, Jackson, like you're used to doing. Flip
Oh,
it over
I got some more.
and get
I can
oil.
flip it over.
No, with your hands. You want to get oil over all of it. So then when it rises, it doesn't dry out
Okay.
and it doesn't really stick. to
Roll
the
it
bowl.
over.
It's a big
Oh
one.
boy, that's a big one.
You're not pinching it. You're not stretching.
There it is.
There you
A
go.
little help from.
That's good.
Oh man, competition's heating up.
Jackson, get the red lid behind you. So
Red
you
lid.
cover it with plastic wrap. Some people do a towel, but I find that it dries out if you do a towel.
Good job, Jax, man. All right, so we're gonna cover it, and this is to give it time to rise.
Yep.
Right? How long are we gonna leave it covered?
An hour or so.
Okay.
So right now it's a small bowl. It'll get to where it fills it up to here and flattens out, and then you'll come through and you'll
Oh,
punch
we'll
it.
show that. That's the
We'll
funnest
do that.
part. All right, so
Okay.
be back in an hour. Here we are, an hour later, and Jackson is so excited. Why are you excited, buddy? You get to punch the dough. This is probably the kids' favorite. So we've got our dough pans ready. Christy, those look black and heavy. Can you tell us quickly about?
These
those
are cast iron pans. This is just what I use for bread, and they make a more uniform loaf. But you can use anything you make like banana bread with. You could use any other loaf.
Okay, stop for a minute. Everybody doesn't make banana bread properly.
Would
Would most
You
people
can use
have
a
these in their
glass loaf
kitchen?
pan. If you don't, you could make rolls and put them on a cookie sheet.
Ooh,
You
okay.
could stop. You could also put one
I
big.
want to punch
Hold
him.
on, boys. You could also put it on a cookie sheet.
Delayed
Sorry,
gratification.
Daddy.
One big loaf, like a French bread.
Okay. All right. So lots of options. You could do a cookie sheet. You could do individual. You don't have to have those pans, but we love our loaf pans because it looks like actual loaves of bread. So show us the dough, littles. Whoa! Wait a minute. Wait. It's so big. It started out like half that
And
size.
it's bubbly.
So that's the yeast. It's full of air right now. We need to punch it down. Jackson, go.
Got it.
Well, Ryan added some help.
Okay.
All right. So look at this. So that kind of deflates it.
And then it's
Alright.
gonna rise again, but in the pans.
Okay. So here we go.
So we're
Gonna
gonna
put it in the pans.
turn it out, and it doesn't
Bucket in the way.
stick because it's
No more
because it's got
smashing.
the oil on it.
Okay.
So you can use your hands and cut them. You're trying to get it in half. No, you already smashed it. So you're trying to get the shape of what you want. So if you want it to be one big like French loaf, you're gonna make it into one big log. If you want to do rolls, you're just gonna pinch off little pieces,
Okay.
put it on a pan. We're gonna make a loaf. So
All right.
we're just gonna slowly start pulling it. I've got in my mind I want it about like this size.
Okay.
Because it's gonna fit in the loaf.
Now, if you work it too much at this point.
This is fine because it's yeast bread.
Oh, okay. That's
So
the.
yeast bread is
She
very.
makes more than one type of bread, believe it or not. Okay.
Just
Okay.
We're
roll
making our
it.
loaves.
You want the seam on the bottom.
I want to try.
Well, you want the
Otherwise-
seam on the bottom, but
Can I try?
The seam
You
on the
get fired,
bottom.
just
Ryan,
never
stop.
mind.
So this won't
What's
work
that fits right in. Oh, why
Okay.
not?
because it's loose. It's not tight. Your bread will fall apart like a cinnamon
Oh.
roll.
Okay.
Let mommy do
So
it.
you got to really push it together.
You're pushing it together.
I'm glad you did that, Ryan, so we can see what not to do.
Yeah, you don't just roll it. So these are a little
Hey,
different
I
sizes.
didn't know that.
He knows. He's fine. So.
It's like the whole
I did not.
Yeah, well, we
did
learned
it.
something,
Well,
see?
We learned something.
All right, so that's a
We're
nice
gonna have
condensed milk.
baby on the
So
bread.
the pan's greased with oil a little bit from the last time I made, but they're little different sizes. It's fine. This one's gonna be ready to bake.
There you go. That's better.
This one's bigger. It's gonna be ready to bake before the other
Right
one,
here.
or it'll just be a little bit smaller loaf. So
So we put them in the loaf pans. Do they go right into the oven?
no, they gotta
I can
rise.
put one.
Oh, rise again. For
So
how
you can
long?
put your
Oh, right.
until they're right about the top of here. So it's
So-
another. It depends on your pans. These are cold because it's cold outside. I put it in the oven with the light
Okay.
on the bottom rack of the oven with the light on. I'll show you.
That's to protect it from the kids poking it, right?
Yeah, that helps.
All right, so it's going to go in the oven with the light on, no heat. And you're just going to keep an eye on it.
Keep an eye on it. When it gets about the top of your pan, or it doubles in size, or the size you want, you'll put it in the oven and cook it for 400 degrees for like 25 minutes.
Do you have to preheat the oven or you just turn it on to 400?
I turn it on when they're in here, and it actually, the heating of the oven makes them puff up a little bit more at the end.
For how long?
44. Hey, Mommy,
25-ish.
Okay, I missed that. And I will say, you know, this seems like it's taken a long time. It's just like our life. We're always multitasking. So we're not like making bread for 3 hours in the morning. That's all we do. We've been chasing turkeys. We've been feeding animals. We've been doing everything else this morning too, right, guys?
Yes.
So this just kind of fills in the gaps. But it's definitely something, you know, you may want to start right when the kids get home from school and be done by.
It's
you know.
not a lot of hands-on time, but it's wait.
Spread out wait time, making those yeast work. All right, so it's going to go in the oven with the light on till it rises enough. We're going to turn on the oven for 25 minutes at 400 degrees. And then the best part, we're going to get a video here of it coming out, and we're going to get to smell it, although people on the video won't get to smell it. But all right, so the great unveiling.
So they've been rising under the heat from the oven because the oven's been on. So this one's ready. That was the bigger one. I'm going to leave that one alone for a little bit.
So that's what we look like when it goes into the oven. 400 degrees.
Bottom. If you're doing a loaf, put it on the bottom rack. If you're doing rolls, put them in the middle.
Okay, words of wisdom.
In my oven, it's 26 minutes. Time's up.
Ha 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 ha.
And this guy's ready.
Ta-da! So that is what you just watched a 25-minute video to get to. But it's really not that difficult at all. And yes, it's not sliced like it comes out of a baggie. But look at that. We made that out of some pretty simple ingredients. So we're not going to pain you with a video of us eating it, but if you did like this video, if you learned something from it, let us know in the comments below. If you actually make bread and you're inspired by this fine lady right here, send us a picture on the comments of your finished loaf of bread, or if you have questions, let her know, right?